In April 2010, a loving mother and grandmother vanished into thin air, leaving her family with many questions.
40-year-old Rachel Anderson went missing a couple of weeks ago.
He says for months, someone was texting her weird messages and calling her, then hanging up.
I feel like it's just a big dream and I haven't woken up yet.
As the days turned to years, the hope for justice started to wane. But all that changed about 3 years after her disappearance.
Detectives believe that Charles Capone and David Stone killed Rachel Anderson in 2010.
So are you wondering what exactly happened to Rachel and who was responsible for her death? Rachel Anderson was born in June of 1969 and hailed from Clarkston, Washington, mother of 2 sons and 2 daughters. At the time, she had been going through a separation from Charles Capone. The couple was married in September of 2009, but just 3 months later, Rachel filed for divorce. In the months leading up to her disappearance, Rachel reported that she was receiving harassing phone calls and was being stalked. The case came together 3 years after Rachel disappeared.
They fear whoever was harassing her kidnapped her. Anderson's car was found just last week at a bus stop behind this Dyna gas station in North Lewiston.
The case came together 3 years after Rachel disappeared. Charles and a friend of his, David Stone, were arrested in relation to the murder. They believe that Charles killed his estranged wife and David helped him dispose of the body. It was revealed that the two of them had a pact to kill each other's wives. There were prison inmates who spent time with Charles that testified that he said such thing as she wasn't coming back and that Rachel was buried so deep that she would never be located. We now know was murdered by her husband, who is now serving life without the possibility of parole in the Idaho State Penitentiary. What happened to Rachel? Confessions state that she was dumped off of this bridge or near this bridge, wrapped in a tarp with snow chains tied to buckets. We have a fisherman that has tipped us that he has snagged a tarp, looked like a body was in it, with buckets connected to it. The second that he got the tarp and the buckets up near the surface, his line broke. He then reached out to local authorities. And he'll be here, but in his words, he didn't feel like the local authorities did anything about it. I can't confirm that, but him feeling like nothing was done about it, he reached out to us, which we encourage everybody to do. Almost all of the things that we do, we cover, is because of the tips and information that our supporters give to us. So Devin, the fisherman that gave us the tip about this, he'll be here in a little bit. He'll give you his story about what happened that day when he discovered that. So our goal today is to get in here to see if we can find Rachel and to see if what that fisherman found was Rachel. We're here at the boat ramp in Lewiston, Idaho. The area in question where he found this is just north of the bridge. He said he was standing on a structure which is, about waist deep fishing, and when he snagged it, just north of the bridge. So we're gonna set in from here. We're also gonna scan this because we have another cold case here. We have another cold case here. We'll be here for the next 2 days. So while we're at this boat ramp, we're gonna scan for cars and any other objects, and who knows what we might find. And that's what we're gonna do today. Thank you for being with us, Nick. Nick, you're awesome. Glad to have you as part of the team now, and really excited about the way things are moving. And you guys will see a lot of great stuff to come. This is definitely a case. I'm very optimistic. And I'm gonna say it, I'm excited to get into the water and hopefully find answers for this family. Absolutely. A lot of people don't like when we use the word excited, but I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm excited, as horrible as it is. I'm excited to hopefully be able to give answers to a family.
For families who have all but given up on finding their loved ones, this team is a last hope. Civilian divers cracking cold cases for free.
Well, I see the structure over there.
Did
I
you
saw it on
actually drop
satellite.
it out on the water?
Yeah.
You could see it?
Yeah. On satellite, looking at this spot, I saw it. It's like a half of an old building or something like that. All right, let's get in. It's only 4 feet right here where we're at. So this boat ramp is not promising at all. We're gonna scan the far side over here where we're at. And it's 10 feet right here. It's a little hole. Bottom of the boat ramp. Coming up. A foot right here. We're gonna scan next to this road over here it's only 2 feet where we're at. So you're not hiding a car right here. You're getting away with it. Really clean bottom. 2 feet, like any anomalies are gonna stick out really, really well. Which in this situation, we're working with, looking for a body, some buckets, some chains. It's pretty difficult, but we're gonna do our best. Eight feet deep, we're gonna come up here on these bridge columns. I wonder when this bridge.
What is that?
Wonder when that's a bridge. That's the bridge column.
I got you.
Yep. Really shallow river. There it is. I see it under us.
You saw something? Oh, there's something. What is that?
It's just the structure all around us right here. We're just off the edge of it. In an area like this where we have structure and little different anomalies, what we need to do is hurry up and get Devin down here to show us exactly where it was. You and I getting in here without a pinpoint is we're gonna come up empty-handed. You're not finding anything without a pinpoint. Putting a diver in the water without a target is, you are absolutely
needle in a haystack.
Needle in a haystack, 100%. Anytime you are ready to come down, we are sonaring right now and getting ready to head back up to the boat ramp, and once you come down and pinpoint the area, we will get in and start diving and looking around for it. I'm gonna set the range to 110 in either direction. So you see the screen now?
Yep.
Now
110 this way?
Yes.
110
so
that
deeper
way?
water, scan a little bit more, so you get more of a reading. And now you got to keep in mind also that because you've changed from 75 feet in either direction to 110, your objects are also going to be smaller. Just rock, bunch of rock over there. We're coming into a big log jam over here underneath the bridge. See that big log jam over here?
Oh yeah.
Logs, big logs, all trees.
More logs, you think?
Yes. Coming behind this log jam to see what we can find. Yeah. That's the bridge. 19 feet over here, so this is the deeper side.
That makes sense.
Well, we got train tracks, so what we're looking for is not going to be over a culvert and up and over train tracks. Yep, so we've cleared this area. There's nothing here. We cleared the bridge. The bridge is really clean. It's down to about 40 feet out there. But now we're gonna wait on Devin to come down here and show us exactly where we need to be. Devin, and thank you for reaching out to us.
Yes, definitely. I'm so glad you guys can make it up here. Just super blessed to have, just somebody like you guys yourself just to come out here and help somebody out like this. Like, this means more than you ever know.
Yeah,
it really does.
Absolutely. No, our supporters who reach out to us and give us information, whether it's cases or tips on what you pulled up while you were fishing, or whether or not it's a car you found while you were fishing, and all of that's critical in everything we do. So, thank you for reaching out to us.
Yes, definitely.
I hear, well, why don't we just hear from you? Just go over what you've told us, what you emailed us from the very beginning, like what you were doing that morning, and just follow us through the whole story so our viewers can get an in-depth idea of what you experienced.
Okay, so like starting out from the beginning, so Rachel Anderson, that's why we're here. She went missing 13 years now it's been, and she was a high school friend of my mom's. Obviously I didn't really know a whole lot about her family and whatnot, but kind of just, heard about the story, heard about everything that happened. Mm-hmm. I went through a lot of police reports, kind of did my own investigation, I guess you would say, years afterwards. Mm-hmm. Just saw some things that didn't quite make sense to me, didn't quite match up. A lot of the cases and whatnot in the police reports were saying how she had been thrown off the bridge, possibly. She could have been buried really, really deep in the ground. Her body could have been decomposed by a carburetor cleaner and whatnot from the guy's
the parts cleaner machine.
Yeah, parts cleaner machine from up in Moscow. The guy owned a repair shop. The main suspect, I guess, husband that was ex-husband at the time, and they never found the body, obviously. Like I said, everything didn't really match up for throwing it off the bridge, but it kind of, what I would guess, would throw police and investigators off because they would search from the bridge downwards. Mm-hmm. On anything like that, we got a pretty heavy current out here, so you would think, body would go downstream, if anything, maybe even end up at the dam, way further down. I don't know if it'd go that far, but
right. Our local here that I was just spoken to, he was like, the body probably made it through the locks and all that.
Right. But then after I discovered that there's an old, what they call is a slaughterhouse foundation that's out here that, obviously used to be a slaughterhouse or something like that. It's underwater a bit, but wades up to about knee height, a little over knee height, midsummer or so. You can easily walk out onto it, fish off of it, things like that. Me and a buddy have done that in the past. Mm-hmm. And I was out there just one day in my little 12-foot John boat. I have sonar and whatnot as well, but I didn't capture anything on sonar. And I hooked into something, and it was right next to the low buoy marker. So I figured I was hooked into low buoy marker, didn't really think anything of it. Yeah. But it started moving. It started coming up as I was pulling on it. Wow. I'm using, pretty strong braid, I guess you would say. We really didn't think I could pull up something quite as heavy as that was. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I got it to the surface, chills just rippled down my spine. Wow. I could feel everything, that it was something I probably shouldn't have, encountered that day. Yeah. And when I pulled it up and I seen it at right next to the surface, my hook was just barely hooked in to what was a tarp, wrapped around snow chains, and the snow chains were concreted in white buckets. Everything from police reports from the other accomplice that was with the main, the ex-husband that was with the main ex-husband that supposedly disposed of the body with him, had slipped up in, I believe, in one of his police reports saying that that they had threw her off the bridge, and everything matched the same description. I mean, from white buckets of concrete to tire chains to, it was, I believe, a green and brown tarp that they had investigated at Capone's shop that was up in Moscow, yeah. And they had said that they had seen that tarp, I guess, a couple weeks before, or somebody had seen it in the shop there. And then when they went to investigate their investigation at the shop there, it was a different tarp that was there. And then just recently, I'd seen a new not investigation, but a new police report on the neighbor, I guess, that was up there, and heard a lot more details, I guess, than I had ever came across. And it was kind of newer news to me. Just within the last couple weeks, I'd came across this and noticed it, and just everything from it added up. The guy had spoke, really into detail on everything that had happened, and it all made sense. Of kind of heard a gunshot to him and his so Rachel and her ex-husband were arguing, but were in a bad argument right in front of the shop, whatnot. And then after the gunshot, there was some opening and closing of doors. There was screeching of table and stuff getting moved around inside the shop, and then a pressure washer. And everything kind of started to add up, of what could have happened and whatnot. But when I, like I said, when I was there, when I hooked into it and I got it to the surface, I just brought just shivers down my spine. And as soon as I seen it, I was like 110% sure that was her, that was it. I mean, I could just feel it, that's probably crazy. The way that it even looked or whatnot, and how it was kept, that it had to be, something that somebody was trying to hide.
Right.
And so that's when I immediately pulled off to the shore. Right there, I had a buddy as well on board with me. Of course, now I don't really remember exactly which buddy it was at the time. But I pulled off to the shore immediately. I called authorities, and I let them know. Unfortunately, they basically just came back to me and told me that there was nothing they could do. That case was closed out, 10 plus years ago. Right. And they didn't have apparently a dive team at the time to come dive for it or even try to look for it or find it.
Yeah, it's a justification, a use of resource issue.
I tried to reach out to people. I tried to reach out to anybody that even knew how to dive, kind of thing, here in the valley, and just couldn't really find anybody that would pursue it. So that's when I was on YouTube, and I'd watched a few of you guys' videos and things like that, and I was like, man, these guys would be the greatest people to contact and get up here, and I'm sure that they'd be able to help.
So right now we're going over to maneuver on the other side of the bridge so that we can get Devin to point out exactly where he was fishing at. And me and Nick are going to get in the water and see if we can't find this object that he snagged 4 years ago. It's a possibility that it could be covered up. They do dredge this river a lot. We are optimistic that we're going to be able to find it.
Find at least some sort of remnants based on the description of what he said he saw that day.
Based on the murderer confession, what he snagged and saw, it adds up. The objects are the same, the location is the same. We have to utilize our diving skills to try to find this. Absolutely. It is, I would say, some level of miscarriage of justice if we do not. So we have a whole new setup here, all of our supplies, and a dive area, an official dive area, basically our room, our dive command unit, where we have our BCDs, our individual shelves here for different gear and so forth. Our bench here where our BCDs are. Under normal circumstances, we would sit down on, suit up, put our BCDs on, and gear up to get ready to go in the water. So we really have a professional room that we can, one, come up with a war plan, get ready in a controlled environment, and have meetings, outside of the elements, because sometimes it's pouring down rain, or it's snowing sideways, or it's super hot outside. We got temperature controlled in here, as well as lights throughout. So it's an amazing new setup that we have. You guys will see a lot more about it, as well as we'll get a lot more intense into breaking down the different areas in here. And this is all possible because of you guys, your support, your donations, and keeping us on the road, making sure that we have what we need. And you can see the fruits of what you guys are contributing here coming into play and unfolding in front of your very own eyes.
Yeah, basically right here, that's where the low boom used to be. And then basically I hooked into her body just a little bit, I guess you would say kitty corner from that, and
pulled it straight in, kind of.
Yeah, we'll just pull it straight up, just straight up. Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you for your time, man.
Yes,
I appreciate
definitely.
you reaching out to us.
Definitely.
It's critical.
All right, let's see if it works. Audio check, sound check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, according to Devin, you guys need to come in towards shore, but upstream just a little bit. How you guys doing on air? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's been like, what, 25 minutes? How are you guys doing on air? You guys run out?
No, actually.
I lost communication with my system at around 1,000. Yeah.
You guys are down there for like 45 minutes.
Yeah. I was really working on my breathing.
Slowing it down?
1,600.
Yeah.
From the beginning though, you guys were more in the middle of the structure, working that, and we were trying to communicate. I don't know, did you guys hear me at all on the comms?
No.
Yeah, I was trying to communicate, like head upstream more, because he was like, yeah, I was at that top tip of the staircase, the top of the stairs basically. Yeah.
And then we made our way there.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that's how you ended up here.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So were we going the right direction?
You were going the right direction.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because we would go out, we're watching.
Yeah, I had a couple.
We're shoulder to shoulder, and we got about 3 to 4 feet, about four feet of visibility apiece.
Yeah.
So we're able to
cover
as far as I can reach. I can see.
Yeah, me too. So
from
that
there
far
to there,
is how far we could each sweep would cover.
Well, closing this one is a little bit different than normal cases where we're looking for somebody that's missing, hasn't been found. Rachel hasn't been found. Her body hasn't been found. The why is known. She was murdered. She was dumped. Where is she dumped? We don't know. That's why we were here. Our efforts today were unsuccessful.
Try to find it, try to close it out if we can. But I appreciate you guys' efforts today. It means everything to me.
Absolutely. thank you guys for watching this. Again, if you have not, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. It makes all of what we do possible, and it would not be possible without your support. So thank you. Hit that subscribe button. That is why we are here today, is because of Devin, being a subscriber, being a follower, a viewer of what it is we do, reached out to us, as we told you before. He gave us the information about Rachel, what he found out here. Fortunately, we didn't find that today, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be found.
Yeah, we found, I mean, I've seen a lot of your guys' videos. You guys have found a lot of people and a lot of cool cases, a lot of cars, you know, solved. And what you guys do, I mean, makes a huge difference in this world. It really does. There's not a whole lot of people like you guys.
Thank you.
There really ain't.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate both of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All of you, your whole team. Just amazing.
Thank you. All right, guys, we're gonna close this one out, and we'll see you on the next one.